some people think of climate change and migration as a giant game.
You can imagine a small island and parents of a baby girl. They are wondering whether this child will still have a place to live and a culture because sea level is rising and it's threatening their way of living. You can imagine a community in sub-Saharan Africa. The temperatures are getting hotter and they will have problems to continue having the crops. One response is moving from this degraded land. You can imagine a family in the Mongolian prairies. The winter are getting colder. They have to move, go to bigger cities and try to find a new way of living. You can imagine a nomadic group in Kenya because of climate change. There is less water and less grazing. They decide to take different routes and that creates conflict with other people who are settled in other areas. We know today that one person is displaced every 4 seconds in the world. We know that over 520 million people are affected every year by flooding of coastal zones. We know that 120 million people are exposed to tropical cyclone hazards. We know that coastal zones host around 10% of the world population and they are also affected by sea level rise. Our work as IOM is about migration, and if you speak to environmental partners, it means that we need to find ways to have a common language between the science of climate, science of environmental world, and the migration, human mobility. If the climate community forgets migrants, we'll have really difficulties to act in the future and support environmental migrants. On the other hand, we have the migration community has to understand climate. And if the migration community ignores climate change and ignores environmental issues, again, we'll have a major gap on trying to find relevant responses to migration, in particular the crisis we are seeing now on migration, where climate change is one among the other root causes of this crisis. Let's not speak just of despair, let's not speak just of sadness, let's not speak just of victims. We can do something about it, and that's one of the key messages of our work at the International Organization for Migration.